It is preseason week 2. Dart is starting for the Giants, but the Dolphins will have a lot of starters on the bench tonight. We're going to get into it as the Dolphins take on the Giants in week 2 of the preseason. Let's start. What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for another one. I appreciate each and every one of you coming through on this episode. As you do me the favor, smash the like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new. We are moments away from kickoff, and it should be a interesting one as we are going to see if the backup quarterback situation in Miami is going to be as bad as it was last week, because they're going to have plenty of reps to go through. Now, honestly, I expect to see something out of Cam Miller this week. I'm not going to lie to you. He's put together some good practices while I was out there for a backup. He looked better than anything I'd been hearing about or what I had seen from Quinn Ewers last Friday against the Commanders. So we are going to get a heavy dosage of Cam Miller and company tonight, because it seems like Proctor is actually the only starting offensive lineman that's going to be out there for the Miami Dolphins tonight. So we're going to see how that goes. But it does appear that key veterans are going to be out for the Miami Dolphins. So, you know, that is where we are at with that. It does seem, and we'll go over that in just 1 second. Let me get everything together here. So yeah, that seems to be, it's like Achane and Proctor seem to be like two of the few starters we're actually going to have so out there today. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. But we're going to go over that in just a second. I'll give you guys the visual so you can see exactly what I know about. This is courtesy of the Sun Sentinel. Ahead of the preseason game against the Giants on Saturday afternoon at Hard Rock Stadium, key players not in uniform during warmups included Malik Willis, Quinn Ewers, Devon Achane, Malik Washington, Jordan Brooks, Tyrell Dotson, Aaron Brewer, Patrick Paul, Austin Jackson, Jonas Avayanaya, Zach Sealer, Kenneth Grant, Jordan Phillips, Zeke Biggers, Chop Robinson, Josh Uche, and cornerback Juju Brents. Now, what is interesting is, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Rookie wide receiver Chris Bell was seen dressed in full uniform during warmups, despite not yet going through a full practice since his activation from the non-football injury list. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is coming next week. I'm telling you. Falcons. He's coming for the Falcons. Let's go. All right. Now, shout out to Big E. You know, met up with Big E a few times at both practice sessions I was down there this week. And I had 6 tickets to give away to tonight's game in the club level. The first person to actually hit me up was the finisher. And shout out to him. He hit me up for 2 of them. I said, yeah, man, no problem. But then he had to confirm it to wife. Wife couldn't make it tonight. Then Big E came through, hit me up, and DM'd me. And so I sent them his way, but a couple of the people in the chat, in the thread that wanted a couple pairs, Big E ended up sending them a couple of pairs of tickets. So, you know, from the 6 I gave him. So shout out. Appreciate Big E. Man, you're going to beat this. You got this, brother. You're going to beat what you got. And I hope this day do great this year, because I know you're going out of your way to make as many Dolphin events as possible. So I hope they play great for you all year. Biggie, I appreciate you and what you do for the community. So shout out to all of you. So I did extend it to Patreons and YouTube. And I made a YouTube post about it, but Finisher and Biggie were the first 2 in line. So shout out to all of y'all. All right. Austin Jackson lost all the weight, and now smaller defenders knock him off a butt. Exactly, Kev. I'm telling you, man. Listen, I'm going to go over it again. When I was down there this week, man, I know, and I already saw the articles. The media be coming. The media is coming for Jeff Hafley for not ejecting Austin Jackson from the practice. But if y'all saw what, and I know a bunch of you who were there did see exactly what I'm talking about. If y'all saw what we saw who were there, you would have put Austin Jackson back in as soon as you saw what Caden Wallace was producing. You got to give Malik Willis a shot, man. Like, Jeff Hafley was caught in between between a rock and a hard place. He had to. You got to protect your quarterback. Was Austin Jackson like elite? No, but he's better than Caden Wallace. You got to give him a shot, man. You got to get a fair evaluation. So, I don't know. What up, Kevin? How you doing? Shout out to everyone in the chat coming through right now. Let me set that up, actually. So appreciate y'all coming through. Let me know in the chat how you expect tonight to go. I mean, I don't got really depth, man. I think week 3 against Atlanta, we're going to see some of these starters. We're going to see some of these starters, people. And by the way, smash that like button. We're already at 55. There's over 300 of you in the chat. It should be easy. Let's get to 100. Let's get those likes up. It takes you 1 second, and it goes a long way in helping the channel out. So I appreciate that. Bell is in full uniform. I don't expect him to play, though. I think he's just going to stand on the sidelines. I don't expect I don't expect this guy to be out here just, he hasn't really gone through a full practice. I don't think they're going to throw him to the Wolves like that. Just my opinion. Could be wrong, but I doubt it. Oh, yeah, that's what I want. So we'll see how it goes. We'll keep you updated. Obviously, for those of you who are not watching, those of you who are watching, you'll see if 18's out there or not. And you'll hear my reaction. You'll know what time it is. Shout out to everyone in the chat coming through. I appreciate all y'all. Let's give y'all a quick shout out in the chat. 99, Brian. Shout out to homie 99. I appreciate you, sir. Philip Morrow. Robert Thomason. I wish I could have linked up with you, Robert, when we were down there. Chris Lemons. Who else we got here? We got Jack Vogler. Dana. Appreciate you coming through all the time. Who else we got here? Andrew Harris. B-Rob. Shizzy. Oh, I should probably put it on all chat instead of top chat, huh? Put it on live chat so I can see everyone. All right, restart this. Swamp Donkey Crypto said good reps, plays, no injuries is what I'm looking for preseason. A win would be, I agree. Let's see the Cam Miller show. Hey, if I've seen Skylar Thompson do it, I think Cam Miller can do it, Shout out to Rory from Scotland, Kevin Williams, AB, Dennis Clay, Lorenzo, Jimmy Satterfield, Jonathan Whitehead, Nate Dogg, Mark Papelka, Jeff Stoudemire, Philip Leduc, Phenomenal Pod. Sorry, no, brother. All the tickets are gone, brother. Super V, Junior Burns, Brock Webster. Who else we got up in this? I said AB. Kurok 68, old head. Appreciate you. Mario Gonzalez coming through. Appreciate you too. We got an interview with Hafley here. Zonka Would Run, Peter Gannum, Shizzy 88. Yeah, so a lot of the guys who got a ton of reps aren't going, basically. So there you go. We gave you an explanation. Michael Lombardo, appreciate you, sir. Always coming through, showing love to everyone. DJ FinFan, Aaron Berg, appreciate y'all. Oh, I got sound. I got the interview, Jonathan. Check the audio on the TV. Shout out to Chris Lemons for joining the Pro Bowl. Appreciate you. So again, not a lot of starters tonight, ladies and gentlemen. All right. No Malik Willis or Quinn Ewers, no HN, no Malik Washington, no Jordan Brooks, no Dotson, no Brewer, no Paul, no Jackson, no Savia Naya, no Sealer, no Grant, no Phillips, no Biggers, no Robinson, no Chop. So no Uche, no Brents. I think Atwell and AJ Henning, they're going to get a lot of work tonight for sure. Caden Proctor was the only starting offensive lineman in uniform during workout. Chris Johnson, Jacob Rodriguez, Caleb Douglas, They're dressed for the game. So the rookies are going. And by the way, this morning, the Miami Dolphins did cut veteran cornerback Nick McLeod. So they made a cut. And someone asked me, I forget who asked me about was it you, Kevin? Someone asked me while we were watching preseason, what do you think about McLeod? And I said, yeah, camp body. Didn't even go far. All right. James D, appreciate you coming through. Yo, you know what it is? I think it is James D, because James D's like, he's confused. Yeah, it ain't the McDaniel way, right? Well, no, it does. You get to see Caleb Douglas. Cam Miller. I'm going to tell you this much. From what I saw a week of Cam Miller looked better than anything I read or saw from Quinn Ewers through training camp in the preseason. So let's see. I think Cam Miller. Now, Mark Gronowski, I expect nothing out of. But rookies, man. All the rookies are playing today. Yo, that was you, right? I knew it was you, Kevin. I knew it was you. No, yeah. Oh, you got no sound on the. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Check the TV if there's no sound. I didn't say check me. I said check the TV. And ladies and gentlemen, we got the post-game rip. We breaking some 2026 flagship later tonight too, baby. All right, Jalen Wright with the return. Right side, bumps off a man, and we got the hanger. Bumps off a man, and that's like to the 35. Great stuff there. All right, so here we go. Let's go. All right, so Cam Miller is out there right now. Here we go. First play of the opening drive. They are in I formation, 1-by-1 receiver set. And they motion in, handoff. Jalen Wright is going to be stuffed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Might even have lost a half yard. I'm actually shocked they didn't give a series to Malik. I will be honest. I thought they would. All right. Cam Miller under center once more. Single back. And two motions set up a 2-by-1 receiver set as Caleb Douglas motions as the lone guy to the right. Nice block there on the... Woo, is that Tolbert with the block? Incomplete throw. It's broken up as it's attempted to Kevin Coleman across outside the numbers to the right side of the field. But what a block by Tolbert. That was a nice block by Jalen Tolbert. I'll take that. All right, 3rd and 10 now. Cam Miller in the gun, 3-by-1 set, steps back. He looks. He's going deep over the middle. Let's go through the hands once again of Kevin Coleman. Thought he had him, but there was going to be a lot of contact. He's going to take a big hit. Three and out starts this game off for the Miami Dolphins. Oh. It hit his hands. It hit Coleman's hands, but that was tough. That was a tough play to make. All right. It is a deep punt back inside the 5, and it is going to be returned to about the 10, it's going to be 17-yard line. It's recovered at the 7, and then it's returned to the 17. So we're not going to see Jackson Dart. Here comes Winston. We're not even going to see Dart. We're seeing Winston. All right, 1st and 10 from their own 17. Winston in the gun, 1-by-2 set. Fakes the handoff, rolls to his right on the move. hits a strike to Darius Slayton, and that's about a 6-yard gain before he's knocked out of bounds. So that is going to bring up a what, 2nd and 4 at the New York Giant 23. 13:38 and ticking away left in the first. Single back is Singletary. 2-by-2 set after the motion. Handoff, right side, inside, not very far. Maybe a loss of 1 by Singletary. All right. Yep. Just stuffed up by Keith Cooper. Keith Cooper just penetrated and shut it down. All right. Here we go. 3rd and 5 from the 2022. From the 22. 2-by-1 set. Winston in the gun. Running back to his right. He looks. Oh, he's got wide open on the slant across the middle of Slayton. Makes a man miss. And then he's brought down finally after gaining 28 yards. 28-yard gain to the Dolphins 50. Oh. 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 All right. Winston in the gun. 3-by-2 set. Steps up, looks underneath. Another completion. Easy peasy to Theo Johnson, who fights forward. He was like, it was a gain of 7, and he fights forward for another 6 with Jacob Rodriguez and everyone all over him. Kyle Lewis and Jason Marshall end up bringing him down. But he was just fighting through everyone. Good Lord. So now, 1st and 10 from the Dolphins 38-yard line. Winston under center, hands it off on the end around to Calvin Austin, and he's got a whole bunch of room. Wow, 21 yards down to the Miami 16. They are the second unit is just the second team offense for the Giants is lighting the Dolphins up right now. All right, here we go. I formation. Winston under center. 1-by-1 set. Gonna hand off up the middle, and Singletary's gonna fight forward for about 5 yards. And Chris Johnson was actually in there on the stop, the 1st-round draft pick. But the ball is now at the 11-yard line. It's a rough start for the Dolphins right now. 10-20 and ticking away. 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard gain by Singletary. All right. Offset I formation. Winston under center. 1-by-1 receiver set. Motion in on the left side. Winston bootlegs to his left at the play action. Off his back foot. And it's going to be incomplete to Manhertz. Looking at him in the back of the end zone. Trey Moore was actually in coverage on the play. And Trey Moore looks to be hurt, ladies and gentlemen. Trey Moore looks to be injured right now. He knocked down Winston and he's holding his leg. Trey Moore got pressure on Winston and actually ended up knocking Winston down. And now Trey Moore is on the ground being tended to by trainers. So not what you want to see on the first drive. Hey, they can run the ball down our throats all they want. But, oh my God. Let's hope Trey Moore is okay, people. Dolphins love the kid, and I think he was setting up to surprise a lot of people this year, I think. Don't want to lose players, you know? You just want development. Especially a young player like Trey Moore that this coaching staff has such high hopes for. They got really high hopes for him. So, and it was like non-contact, right? You know, like he basically got up, you know, he hit him. It wasn't he took the contact. And then when he came down, he fell, you know, he fell on that leg. Let's hope he's okay, man. Let's hope he's okay. Trying to see what the latest update is right now. Yeah, it's after he landed awkwardly. No weight is being put on the left leg. He's being helped off the field right now while we're at commercial, but he's not putting weight on his leg right now, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I can tell you. He's not putting leg weight on it. We don't know the extent. He's being helped off by trainers. He's not being carted off, so I guess that's a good thing. That's a good thing. He's being helped off, not putting weight on it. But hey. He's hobbling. He's hopping. He's just not putting weight on it. Best case scenario is a sprain. You don't want to tear or break. So best case scenario is it's a sprain. Winston in the gun, 3-by-1 set, running back in the backfield to his right, takes a snap, looking, he's got time, good protection, pumps over the middle, takes off to the right. He's got the first down and more. It was 3rd and 5. He hit the pylon, and that is going to be 6, I believe. So Jameis Winston is going to get credited on the 11-yard touchdown scramble. So that was like butter. They went through the Dolphins defense like butter. Let's be real here. Like, ouch. Ouch. What a drive for them. And the Dolphins took it on the chin a little on that one. So that drive for the Giants, 8 plays, 83 yards, results in a touchdown. And it is now 7-0 after the conversion. And it only took about 4 minutes and 4 seconds for the Giants to go downfield and score. And on that drive, as you can see, as we are now getting into, that's been right there. There you go. All right. Now, as we are getting into the box score here, Jameis Winston, 3 of 4, 47 yards on that drive. Calvin Austin with that big run against the Dolphins too. Look at it, wasn't even Singletary. Singletary was 2 and 4, but a receiver and the quarterback put up 32 yards rushing alone. Darius Slayton had 34 yards on that, and then you go look on the other side. Dolphins, not much. Right now, Jacob Rodriguez and Jason Marshall, they split a couple of tackles. So, not great. Not great. But let's see. Come on, Cam. Just get some first downs. Like, you know, give these receivers some chances to make plays here. See, that's the thing. Like, you need competent backup play so you can get some developmental reps worth a damn here. You know? Like, Jameis Winston could give these young guys chances to develop quicker because he's going to extend drives. He's going to make plays. He's going to make throws. Right now, because of the cap situation, our depth is so hindered that we're in a state where we're not going to give a ton of great opportunities. So that's why I'm hoping we get something great here out of Cam. Compared to his standards, I don't expect elite. All right. 9:50 left in the first. Kickoff. Jalen Wright is going to return it again. And he's going to get out to the left side. And he is actually going to end up returning that. It was okay. You know, it was okay. He got about 23 yards. So he took it back to the Miami Dolphin 25. And he looks like he's got something going on his leg. I don't know whether it's a cramp or something. Right looks to be cramping up. So now cramp. Now Right's got something going on. All right, here we go. Let's go, boys. All right, Cam Miller. Under center. Two receivers stacked to the right. Single back. Ollie. Fade play action. Then it's a screen to Ollie right side. Ollie follows his blocks, and he's got a first down. Gets about 10. So there you go. He's going to take it to about the Miami 35, 10-yard gain. All right, let's let Ollie roll here, baby. $9:15 and ticking away in the first. All right. Pistol. Miller. Two receivers to the left. Give right back up the middle. And that is going to be a 4-yard gain for Ollie Gordon. DJ Campbell's in there right now, too. They got him on the left side. Cam Miller under center. Handoff. It's Atwell on the end around. And he's going to get not very much. It was 2nd and 6. And what does he get? Maybe 1, maybe 2, if we're lucky on that. Not very much at all. Yeah, he gets 1 yard. Greg Newsome in on the stop. Yeah, he had room to cut back. He just didn't. 3rd and 5 now from the Miami 40. This offense is painful, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Miller in the gun, 1x2 set. Ollie to his left, looks. He's got some air under that ball. He's going deep. Oh, what a catch! Kevin Coleman in double coverage up the right sideline. Are you kidding me? Wow. 30-yard gain, and there's a flag for defensive pass interference. Wow. What a catch by Coleman. Woo. Let's go. All right, so now the ball. Whew. Now the ball is 1st and 10 at the New York Giants 30. What a throw. All right, 7:20 left. Cam Miller, offset eye, steps back, tries to take off. He's sacked. Tried to take off, and he was sacked by Jamison Travis. Wow. All right, Miller back. And Coleman again on the screen, and that is not going to go very far, 1 yard. All right, here we go. 3rd and 12. 6 minutes and taking away in the first. Coleman in the gun, right to his right. 2-by-1 set. It's a handoff. And right fumbles. And New York's got the ball. McFadden recovers it, man. Right. Poor ball security. Wright was heading up the middle, had the ball tucked in his left arm to the outside. Phillips got a helmet on it, forced it out. McFadden recovered it. Wright's got to do a better. You know, he has to do a better job protecting that football, especially when Ollie Gordon was out there. Ollie Gordon's having all these nice runs. You know, I think Ollie Gordon's looked more explosive on his first few touches. Not going to argue. Like, you got to do a better job there, Jalen. It's not good. And, like, you know, Wright's starting to get, like, relegated to a freaking kick returner at this rate. Just not good enough, man. Got to do better than that. Wright hasn't been the same since they benched him after the Patriots, since they pulled back his carries after the Patriots game. McDaniel, kind of put him in the doghouse after that Patriots game because they didn't like the blocking they were starting to see from him, and he never really recovered. I'm not gonna sit here and say how many games we're gonna play based off of a preseason results where our starters don't even play. Let's see week 1 after the Raiders. If we're going off preseason results, then Mendoza looks like the worst first round pick in recent memory. If we're just going strictly off preseason results, did anyone watch him a couple nights ago? Wasn't good. All right. Under center, Winston, single back, handoff, right side. And Tyrone Tracy's going to get about 2 yards. So there you go. Trey Moore has left the game. All right. Jameis Winston under center, 2x1 set, single back. Winston sends motion to the left side, fakes the handoff. He's got time. Screen to the left side, good blocking, but it's only going to be about a 3-yard gain, I believe. No, they're going to give him 4. So there you go. That'll bring up 3rd and 4 on the Giant 42. Trips bunch to the right. 1 split to the left. Now the running back motions to the right. Winston in the gun takes a snap. Over. Oh, just hit the hands of his intended receiver, but it's incomplete as Ethan Bonner's in coverage and breaks it up. Oh, sorry, Zane Anderson in coverage. It was a good throw. Tanner Connor had hit his right in his hands and he didn't make the catch. Incomplete. Should have been a first down because Zane Anderson was trailing him. I thought it was Ethan Bonner. Now we got multiple white DBs out here. All right, punts. Coleman is back to receive the punt. Oh, almost muffed it. He caught it, and he actually gets tackled, but he did almost muff it. So 4:08 is now left in the first quarter. So now we get a holding on the Miami Dolphins during the return. It gets better and better and better. .408 left in the first as it stands right now. Let's go see what the box score looks like for all of y'all. So Jameis Winston, he is having a decent game so far. He's 4-6 for them, 51 yards. Cam Miller, 3 of 5, 41 yards. That obviously most of that coming on the big completion to Kevin Coleman for 31 yards, right? Dolphins have no running game going. They have 4 carries for 4 yards. Jacob Rodriguez and Keith Cooper still leading the way with tackles along with Jason Marshall. First downs 4-2 in favor of the Giants as it stands. The Dolphins do not have a rushing first down yet. On third down, the Dolphins are 1 for 3, while the Giants are 2 for 3. You see total yards 89-42. So the Jets are almost more than doubling the output of the Dolphins right now. So got to be better. Dolphins haven't even made it to the red zone yet, and the Dolphins have a turnover, which ended their last drive, which has been their best chance to get towards the red zone so far. Other scores today for all of you guys who were following everything going on around the NFL. The Bills are up 31-7 on the Browns right now. The Rams are up 3-0 on the Saints. All right, 4:08. The Dolphins are going to have the ball to start. It's going to be on their own 6-yard line thanks to the penalty. All right, single back is right, motion to the left, handoff, Jalen Wright, 1 yard. So 2nd and 9 now coming up from the Miami 7. All right, 2nd and 9, 3:45 and ticking away. Cam Miller will now motion to the left side. And Cam Miller is going to get sacked. Zach Pickens and McFadden in on the sack, which is going to be a loss of 6 and take the Dolphins back to their 1-yard line and now bring up a 3rd and 15. So basically, no one picked up the twist. Pickens came on the twist. It moved up your boy Cam Miller, and he went right into the sack. So 3rd and 15 from their own 1. Miller in the gun. Short pass, and Atwell drops the ball. He had Atwell on the slant, and Atwell dropped the ball. Two is doo-doo. I don't know what to say. All right, here's the punt. Nice punt by Pinion. Back to the oh wow, better return. Wow. Oh. 56-yard punt to the New York 43, and it's an 18-yard return by Calvin Austin to the Miami 39 before he's ran up by Jackson Woodard. All right, come on. Create a turnover, defense. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Miami 39. Offense is out there for the Giants. About 2:28 left in the first right now. 2 receivers stacked to the left, 1 split to the right. Motion, 1 out of the stack to the right side. Winston over the middle, and it's behind Slayton. Like way behind Slayton. So former Dolphins currently on the Giants are Javon Holland, Elijah Campbell, Tanner Connor, Braxton Barris, and Odell. All right, Beckham is out there too, OBJ. Winston in the gun. 2x2 set. Running back to his left. Handoff. Tyrone Tracy's got a ton of room. And he's going to end up getting 11 yards. First down. They get another rushing first down. Jabo's missed a few tackles today. All right, Winston, handoff. Bouncing off the left side is Tracy again. He is just eating up this Dolphins defense. That's another 12 yards to the Miami 16-yard line. Michael Taffin on the stop. Jeez. 23 yards on 2 runs by Tyrone Tracy. Depth is not good. All right, Winston under center. 2 receivers to the right. Fakes the handoff. Bootlegs to his left. Takes the tight end who leaks out underneath. And then he's going to be tackled by Willie Gay Jr., but he already gained 6 yards down to Miami 10. So that'll bring up 2nd and 4 with under a minute left to play in the first. All right, 30 seconds and ticking away from the 10-yard line. Winston hands off. It's fumbled. It's out. We got it. Dolphins get it back. Dolphins get it back. Tracy fumbled it, and Jackson Woodard gets it back. Yeah, it was a bad handoff. Look at it. Rewarded with the fumble recovery after a very good camp was Jackson Woodard. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on, offense. Give us something. Cam Miller under center. 1-by-1 set. Single back. Fakes the handoff. He's looking. Atwell again. Incomplete. Headed his way. He again drops it. It hit him in the hands once more. Like, Tutu Atwell is... Tutu is doo-doo, man. I don't know what else to tell y'all. This guy's trash. No one caused the fumble. It was a bad handoff from Winston to Tyrone Tracy. Winston caused the fumble. Single back. 1-by-1 set. Handoff. Up the middle. Wright's going to fight through, but not get very much. That'll bring up 3rd and 6 after he gains about 4 yards. So there you go. And the ball will now be at the Miami 15-yard line. And the first quarter is now coming to an end. So we'll get into this second quarter here in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, do me the favor. Go check out the sponsor of today's video. That sponsor, of course, is Prize Picks. And Prize Picks is, of course, America's #1 sports pick app. No matter what sport you're watching, there's no better way to stay locked in and make the action more exciting than with Prize Picks. You know, whether it's football, baseball, whatever sport you're into, Prize Picks gives you a fun way to stay locked in on every play while you're watching. And now, just play your first $5 plus lineup when you sign up using code HMA. And if you win with that lineup, you would get $150 in bonus lineups. There's no better way to join and lock in with Prize Picks. And right now, you could put season bets. Who do you think is going to be the top rusher? Who do you think is going to win Rookie of the Year? A lot of prop bets. You can do flex plays. You can do whatever play you want. Flex plays, power plays. Give yourself some insurance. Go all in. It's your choice. Just make that choice with Prize Picks. So go download the app today. Use code HMA at sign up and get $150 in bonus lineups if you win with your first $5 lineup when you sign up using that code HMA. So Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Link is in the description down below. And as always, play responsibly. And shout out to Prize Picks and shout out to each and every one of you. So let's get into the box score as we are about to go into the second quarter. Let's bring that up for you right here. So this is what it looks like right now. It's not pretty. It is not pretty for Cam Miller. Cam Miller is 3 for 7, 41 yards. He's been sacked twice for a loss of 9. Ollie Gordon, leading rusher, 1 carry, 4 yards. Jalen Wright, 4 carries, 4 yards. Kevin Coleman, he has 2 receptions for 31 yards. Ollie Gordon has 1 reception for 10 yards. Ollie Gordon's been much better tonight than Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright also had a fumble. Jackson Woodard with the fumble recovery we just saw. Jackson Woodard also leads the team in tackles right now. So, and when you look at how these teams are stacking up team-wise right now, Dolphins still don't have a rushing first down. Still don't have a rushing first down. That's painful, people. All right, 3rd and 6 from the Dolphins. 15 minutes left. Second just starting. Shotgun, 2-by-1 set. Cam Miller has a running back to his right. Takes a snap, looks. He's got a man over the middle, and it is broken up. He was targeting Kevin Coleman. It was a little bit behind him, and Banks made the breakup. It was a little bit behind him. So that was a good play by Banks. All right, so now Pinion's in to punt it away. Let's see what he does. Pinion. What a terrible punt. You all want to see something cool? I brought out the real throwback. I brought out the real throwback today. Pinion was absolute garbage. We already knew that, though. That's nothing new. Absolute trash. 15 yards. He's terrible. All right, let's go. And that is going to be a run up the middle by Tracy. He's only getting a 1. Moba and Cooper were in on the stop. Shout out to D Huggy. Says, do they use the 2nd and 3rd string camo people during preseason? Honestly, why not give us like all 22 views if it's preseason? You know? All right. Winston, 2nd and 9. 14-10 left in the second. Empty backfield, 2-by-3. Steps back. Ball's out pretty quick. Ouch. That is a decent gain for Calvin Austin. 4 yards. But the thing that people are going to be talking about is just how bad that was in terms of tackling for the Dolphins. Yeah, Cam Riley just missed an easy tackle. Winston moves out to the left, launches it deep. It was almost intercepted as Marco Wilson was there to almost pick it off. There's a flag on the play. It looks like it's going to be on Miami. Oh, no. Pass interference on offense. Let's go. Calvin Austin gets called for the pass interference. So now it's going to be a field goal attempt. Marco Wilson was in coverage on Beckham. All right. And the field goal is good. So it is now a double-digit lead. Will Miami even score tonight? That's the real question. Will they even score a touchdown tonight? That is difficult. What's scary is like Max Llewellyn, he hasn't really made any noise tonight, and you know he's going to be getting plenty of chances. I hope Trey Moore is okay. I hope it's just a sprain. I really do. 2-2 is doo-doo. Let me ask you guys, what do you guys think about? I want to ask you all for locally in Miami. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. What do you think about Kim Bocamper as a play-by-play? Let me know. I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the chat. I want to hear your thoughts. And also, let's smash that like button. Let's subscribe if you are new around these parts. We're at 143 likes. We have 57 more until we get to 200. And there's well over 300 of you out here. So let me know. All right, he's mediocre. Bono, gonna take time. So not a lot of fans of Bocamper, eh? As a commentary guy. All right, it's gonna be a hold on this kick return by the Dolphins. Get ready for that. So this is gonna be coming back even further. So there you go. 63-yard kick. It was a 28-yard return by Rieger. And then Lonnie Johnson gets called for the hold. That's 10 yards. So now it's going to be 1st and 10 on the Miami 20. Cam Miller is once again out there. Cam Miller's under center. I formation, 1-by-1 receiver set. Cover 2 for the Giants. Handoff up the gut. Finally, a nice run, spinning and rolling and riling and rolling. Ollie Gordon with the big run, but it's coming back on a penalty. And that was a great run, man. Charlie Heck. That was a 17-yard run, offensive holding, and that was all Ollie. Like, I mean, he's bouncing and spinning off guys, and Charlie Heck brings it back. All right, handoff again. Ollie Gordon. This time he's only going to get about 1.5. If he would have cut it back to the right, there was some space, but he's not an explosive runner like that. So that's going to bring it up to about what, 2nd and 17, and the ball is on the Miami 13. The current drive is not good. All right, here we go. 2nd and 17, 12, 20, and ticking away. Miller is in the gun. 1x2 receiver set, empty backfield. Sorry, 3x2. And it's a quick out to Kasmerick, who makes the catch, but it's only for 2 yards. So that's going to bring up 3rd and longer than the driveway on a 30-acre mansion. My Lord. 3-yard gain, but it's still 3rd and 14. You need a big play here to have any chance. All right, here we go. Motion, Kasmerick into a split back look with Miller out of the gun. 2x1 set. Takes a snap. Back, Cam, looking. He's got Taj Washington. And that's going to be just short of the marker. That is a 12-yard gain when they needed about 14. 4th and 2 for the Miami 28. Nice throw by Cam Miller there. Great catch by Taj Washington. The coverage was very, very tight. Very good catch by Taj Washington. So Pinion's going to come out here to punt. Yay, us. So here's the punt. And it's going to be fair caught at the 29-yard line. So that's going to be what? A 43-yard punt by Pinion on that. Nothing booming, nothing impressive, nothing that's going to keep a special teams unit up at night, but hey, it swung the field a little bit. Just tough. Like, we haven't even gotten the red zone yet. And we should have already been in the red zone. Tough. So Cam Miller, 5 of 10 so far in this game, 56 yards. Ollie Gordon, 3 carries, 7 yards. Jalen Wright, 4 carries for 4 yards. Kevin Coleman, 2 receptions for 31 yards. Taj Washington, he had that big reception there, right? So now he is their 2nd leading receiver in Miami right now for this game, due to that reception. So he's got 1 reception for 12 yards. And then obviously Ollie Gordon, 1 reception for 10. Keith Cooper Jr. is now your leading tackler in Miami for the Dolphins. So left in the second quarter is about 10:44. Feels like this game isn't moving as fast as last Friday's against the Commanders, but I guess that's because, right, we had the ones for a drive and they wasted like 7 minutes by themselves, right? I think Jacob Rodriguez's night is probably done too, it looks like. Yeah, I'm hoping for no injuries too. It's one thing, please no more. And let's hope Trey Moore is okay, right? All right, 10:44 from the Giants 29, offset I formation to the left. One receiver split to the right. Winston fakes the handoff, steps back. He's looking. He's going to take the underneath out of the backfield. And Singletary is going to get a little quick gain on that of about 4 yards. So 2nd and 10, clock ticking away. It is now under 10:20. 10-0 for the Giants. Single back is Singletary. Motion to the right side. 2 receivers split wide to that side. Handoff up the middle. Singletary. He is shut down. He gains about 5 yards, but he was shut down as he got 2 yards away from converting it the first down. All right, 3rd and 1, 9:30 left in the second here. Winston is under center, I formation, strong. 2 tight end set, handoff up the middle, 1 receiver split to the right, and that's a conversion. 2 yards converted by Singletary, right up that middle. Right up that middle. Easy conversion. And the clock will continue to tick away here in the second. Jameis Winston right now is 7 for 11 and 65 yards. So 1st and 10 from the Giants 40 now on this play. Winston in the gun, 2-by-1 set. They're going to motion to the right. Takes a snap. He moves off to his right. Makes a man miss. And he's got Slayton on the move. Back across his body to the left side of the field for a big gain. That is 19 yards. 19 yards with the throw on the move across his body. Marco Wilson in on the stop. Slayton just killing the Dolphins tonight. Just giving the Dolphins the work. He has 3 catches for 54 yards. All right, handoff. Left side. Wow, big hole. Decent gain. 8 yards by Singletary. Dante Trader had to come up and tackle him. 8-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 2 from the Miami 33. And this seems like another drive destined to end in points for the New York Giants. Destined for points is this drive. All right. I formation. Winston under center. 1 receiver to the left. Handoff up the middle. Another big first down for Singletary. The Dolphins, they are more leaky than a faucet that was turned on with the knobs ripped off. It's unbelievable what we're seeing right now. 7 yards. Moba and Wilson in on the stop. So now it's 1st and 10 from the Dolphins 26. We got 6:50 and ticking away here left in the second quarter. Make a play, defense. Offset, strong right eye formation. 1-by-1 receiver set. Winston, toss, faked to the left. He steps back, rolls, and he's got the completion. And it is a missed tackle by Bonner on OBJ. And OBJ is then taken down by Jackson Woodard, but the damage is done. He gained 12. Bonner got to make that tackle. Terrible by Bonner. Terrible tackle attempt. Just slipped off the waist of Jameson. Winston out the gun. 1-by-1, 1-by-2 set. Tight though. Handoff left side. Brought back to the middle and he's shut down. 5:45 and ticking away. All right, 2nd and 9. All right. Here we go. 2nd and 9 from the Miami 13. 5:10 left. Handoff. It's Singletary. He's going to bounce it to the outside. Willie Gay's trying to get him. He can't get him. And then it is too late by the time Major Burns gets over there, and Singletary brings it in for 6. Wow. Tough. This is going to be a tough one to watch tonight, that's for sure. It already is. It already is. Man, that was tough to watch. A finished run by Singletary. They are just slicing and dicing the Dolphins defense tonight on the ground. And the extra point winds up being good. And it is 17-0 for the Giants. You got to wonder, is Cam Miller going to muster some points? Because ain't no way Gronkowski musters some points when he comes in here for the second half, unless he puts together a miracle. And what if they don't give the whole second half to Gronkowski? What if he only gets like a quarter? Because they see a future here, at least on the practice squad, for Cam Miller. Now, I will say this. I am interested to see how the cuts go after the Falcons game when teams start cutting down. Because you know the Dolphins are going to be all over the waiver wire. All over it. Here's where we at statistically right now. Winston's 9 of 13 for 96 yards. Cam Miller 5 of 10 for 56. They are running the ball. Look at, as a team, they have 15 rushes for 97 yards. The Dolphins have 8 for 12. What are you going to win doing that? Preseason or regular season? Not pretty so far. I think when we saw that the ones were out, we knew it wouldn't be pretty. Still not a rushing first down for the Dolphins. Just can't run the ball. Tough. Yeah. I mean, I think there's almost so much they can do with physicality with young kids and lower end free agents. Nice return there for Rager, but that was actually a really nice return by Rager on the kickoff. Good stuff. Really good return there. All right, let's go. All right, under center. 2x1 set. Single back. Fake the handoff. Roll to left. Traore. And he's going to give up 3 yards to the left side. 2nd and 7 from the Miami 40. All right, here we go. I formation. Cam Miller under center. 1x1 receiver set. Fakes a handoff. Miller back. Miller steps up. He's scrambling to the right. He's only going to get a yard before he runs out of bounds. Nothing. Oh, yeah. The yawning is happening. This is bad. This offense is brutal. This offense is brutal. Come on. Miller in the gun. 2x1 set. Running back to his left, steps back. Miller looks. Now he's going to take off again. And now he runs. He's off to the races a little and he gets a big gain. Use your legs, young man. Cam Miller scrambles for about 17 to the Giants' 42-yard line. Let's go. Needed that. Dolphins' first third down rushing conversion all game. And it's Cam Miller. 3:10 and ticking away in the second. Offset I formation. Toss left side. Ollie Gordon kicks it back. But he's only going to get about 1 yard, and he's down and injured. Ollie Gordon is injured. Oh, no. Not good. Ugh. Now we have Ollie Gordon down. Ew. Come on. Are we just not going to catch a break? Oh. Oh. Halfley's out there. This is bad, eh? This is not good, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no. The clock has stopped at 2:48 and Ollie Gordon is just coming off. He's holding his abdomen. This is a nightmare scenario so far tonight. So Ollie Gordon is off. All right. 2x1 set. Cam Miller under center. Single back is right. Handoff right. Right side. Nice. Falls forward. Has a nice little gain right there. And that'll bring us down to the 2-minute warning. And it's going to be 3rd and 4. 5-yard run, though. Not a lot of positives to take away from this game so far. Let me tell you that. Not a lot of positives. Just not a lot of positives to take away right now. I mean, put it in the chat if you've taken away a positive yet. I mean, Ollie Gordon was the big one of the big positives. The Kevin Coleman one-handed catch. You know, that was a big positive. Tutu Atwell's had drops and he's played like trash. You know, we've had now 2 injuries. We've had Ollie Gordon and Trey Moore get injured. Trey Moore left the game. What's going to happen with Ollie? They're just going to shut him down. It's like people are getting hurt and we're getting our ass whooped. Other than the Kevin Coleman catch, I mean, what's the positive from tonight? Tutu Atwell, man. He's a Tutu is doo-doo. I'm going to start calling him Doo-doo Atwell. Yeah, the backup. I mean, and you got drops, and then when you know Cam Miller does make some throws, they're being dropped. Like, this is the dumbest commercial ever. All right, let's go. 3rd and 4. Let's get the conversion. All right. Miller in the gun. Running back to his left. 2x1 set. Fakes the handoff, gives it to right, and he is shut down. He gets maybe one. Maybe one. So here comes the punting unit once more. 140 and ticking away. Awful. Awful. Oh, they're going to attempt the 53-yarder with Patterson to get some points here. Oh, boy. Let's go. Hit this, Patterson. Impress me. And it's good. Let's go. So far, is Riley Patterson performer of the night? No, the backups have made the preseason games hard to watch. 12th man. Well, we're not getting shut out. There's a positive. That's probably the only. I don't think you're seeing any points for Gronowski comes out here. All right, 112 left. Let's get this. Let's get this. Let's get this wrapped up here, huh? Let's get to the halftime here. Yeah, it seems a while away from being a legit contender. Well, we've scored 10 preseason points, but I feel good knowing that the majority of those points came from the one drive our ones made. All right, and the kickoff. All right, run back. That is going to be a decent return to the 33. That is a decent return. 32 yards by Gibson to the New York 32. Let's go. All right. Winston in the gun. 1x2 set. Running back to his left. Motion inside. On the left side. Winston. Just a quick completion to Slayton for 4 yards. So it's under 1 minute and ticking right now. All right, Winston in the gun. Takes a snap. Looking. Over the middle. Shut down. But the completion was made. There was just no yards after the catch. So that's going to bring up a first down after that completion. Tyrone Tracy got 10. Lonnie Johnson made the stop. He only needed 6. So timeout there by the Giants to stop the clock at 41 seconds. All right. Winston in the gun, running back to his right, 1x2 set. Gonna motion the tight end to the left side now. And that is caught by Tanner Connor, and he's pushed out of bounds to stop the clock. 7-yard gain. So now it's 2nd and 3 with about 37 seconds left. All right. Winston in the gun, 2x2, looks incomplete. Thrown. Man, AJ Green was there and got a hand on him. Could have had a turnover, but instead it's incomplete. But AJ Green is about to get flagged for defensive pass interference. So now the ball that's a 9-yard penalty, and the ball is at the Miami 47. What? Oh, sorry, the 38. All right, Winston in the gun. 2x1 set, handoff. So now 30 seconds left in the game. Timeout taken by the Giants. They really, really want these points, apparently. Harbaugh is using all of his timeouts. Like, they really want to make sure they get this, huh? That's crazy. All right. In the gun, Winston, 1x3 set, sorry. Takes a snap, looks, unleashes, incomplete. So that is incomplete. Guys, do me a favor, smash that like button. Let's go. Let's get up to 200 likes. 26 likes away. Let's get there. Smash that like button if you haven't already. All right. 27 seconds left in the second. 3rd and 9. Winston, where's the flag? Yup. Delay game. Bro, these guys, like you took a timeout and you still had a delay game? What are we doing here? Third and 14. Ball is on the 42. 27 seconds. Like, James Winston apparently wants this first half to be the longest in NFL history. Winston in the gun. 1x3 set. Running back to his left. Winston back. Winston looking. That is complete. And then, oh, are you kidding me? Calvin Austin creates about 10 yards after the catch by taking a great angle and making a couple guys miss. And then it's a timeout with 19 seconds left. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a shot at this. This is ridiculous. All right, let's go. All right. Trips bunch to the right, one to the left. Winston in the gun. Takes the running back. And oh my God. They're just like, they are really working this. They really want these points. They're running out of bounds, going out of their way, sustaining this drive. This is like the longest 58-second drive I've ever seen in my life. So 2nd and 2 now, 14 seconds left at the 14-yard line. Winston in the gun, 2x1 set. Takes a snap, looks, here comes pressure. Winston steps up, back of the end zone, incomplete to Odell Beckham. It hit Odell in the hands, but he couldn't make the catch. 9 seconds now left. Yeah. Beckham, it went right through his hands. He should have made that catch. Bad coverage. Major Burns fell. Miles Battle was trailing. That was bad coverage by the Dolphins. Bad coverage by Miami, and thank God OBJ dropped it. All right, here we go. 2-by-1 set. Winston in the gun. Running back to his left. He takes a snap and he hits Odell, and that's a first down. Odell goes out of bounds. 5-yard pass on 3rd and 2. So now there is 5 seconds left. All right, here we go. What do you got? 5 seconds left. 27-yard attempt. 5 seconds left. And here's the attempt. And of course, there's a flag. Oh my God. Just let's go. Oh my God. This is like the drive that will never end. They got this ball with 1 minute and 12 seconds left. And this drive has been taking forever. All right. Next attempt. And it's good. Thank you. End this. Joe Levesque, reason if this does turn out to be a bad season, do you feel like we are okay with 3 to 5 wins? If Malik shows he can be competent at QB, do they? I don't know, man. I don't think they're going to take a quarterback. I got 3 takes coming out soon, and I wouldn't expect them to take a quarterback. I'm probably going to drop that 3 takes tomorrow, just talking about everything I heard while I was down at camp. I would get quarterback out of my mind if I were you, and I'll talk about it more in that 3 takes, but I don't think they're going to take a quarterback. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like, he would need to, like, get hurt or something, you know? They believe. So, I mean, they've been warning us forever that we're not going to be good this year. You know? So, let's look at the halftime stats and what we got. Jameis Winston putting on a clinic at backup compared to what we got. You can see 15 of 21 for 150 yards. So Devin Singletary is their lead rusher. 8 carries, 40 yards for them, right? Tyrone Tracy, 6 carries, 26 yards. I mean, Singletary averaged 5 yards a carry. Tracy's averaging 4.3 yards per carry. Cam Miller, 6 for 11, 60 yards. I mean, it's better than the 1 completion he had last week, I guess. But this is another problem. Cam Miller's your leading rusher. Now, Ollie Gordon, he got banged up. He left. Trey Moore got banged. He left. He got banged up. He left. So, not good. But they're cooking us a little bit. They are cooking us a little bit, that's for sure. It's not good. Nothing pretty, nothing to write home about. I know everyone's down because of how these preseason games have gone, but let's just provide context, people. I mean, most of these players we're not going to see in the regular season. So I wouldn't get too down. I wouldn't start over judging because of preseason games. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Now, there are certain guys I would be judging. And I'll talk about that in a moment. Jackson Woodard, I mean, he's had a quietly really good camp, and look at he's leading tonight in tackles, and he has a fumble recovery. That's a positive. Team stats: 1 rushing first down for the Dolphins, and it was a Cam Miller scramble. Not great on that front. I mean, the problem with our backups are not only are they not good in pass pro, they can't get any push in the trenches from the run game, right? You look at the yards. 248 to 87. Wow. And they both have 6 drives. But the Giants are averaging 6.7 yards per play. And they've ran 37 compared to the Dolphins, who ran 26 plays and are averaging about 23.3 yards per play. And I mean, 98 to 36 in rushing. Just not good. 150 to 51 in passing. 16-18 in time possession at 13-42. Like, here's the problem. The problem here is Cam Miller has now had multiple preseasons, right? He had a preseason with the Raiders. Now he's got it with us, and nothing's improving. You know, like, he's not really showing any upside. Kind of like how we felt after watching Quinn. Like right now, it feels like we have practice squad quality backups. Seriously. That's what it feels like right now. Like, I can't even call these guys sure thing third stringers. And we all expected Quinn Ewers to give us a quality competition. You know, not necessarily take Malik Willis's job, but lock in as a backup. And we haven't even had that. I was talking earlier. Y'all want to see a throwback? You want to see if you're a real throwback? A throwback of a throwback? Right? When Reebok was doing our jerseys. When Reebok was doing our throwbacks. All right? The Merino Reebok throwback. You like that? The throwback, baby. Go ahead and do me the massive favor, ladies and gentlemen. We are what? 13 likes away from 200. Go smash that like button. There isn't, I agree with Richard 110%. I agree with you. I agree with you 110%. I agree with Richard 110% on this. There's no upside with these journeyman players. You're 110% right, sir. There are none. This is why I've said certain things like I've said during training camp and during the preseason. I'll give you examples. My whole thing with the wide receiver room is why give reps to Tutu or why give reps to Jalen Reagor? Just see what like Theo Weiss and AJ Henning and Taj Washington have, and Chris Coleman and Chris Bell and Caleb Douglas and Malik. You know, that's been my pretty much take regarding the receiver room. And the same thing can honestly go on in the safety room. Lonnie Johnson and Zane Anderson. Come on. Give the reps to Lewis Moore and Michael Taff and let's see what we have. You know? So, and it's, you know, and Kyle Lewis, throw Kyle Lewis in there, you know, throw Kyle Lewis in there, especially in preseason right now. I know what these guys are. They aren't very good. We already all know this. There ain't no way we're winning 12 games this year. Zero way we win. Zero chance we win 12 games this year. Vegas has the line at 4.5. You think there's any chance we're going to almost 3 times that line? Ain't no way. But I agree with what you said, Richard. There is no upside. I don't think anyone should. I think you should get like, okay, the only ones I would be worked up about right now, if you want my honest opinion, I'd be worked up about how bad Jalen Wright looks. You know? That's all I would be worked up about. You know, Jalen Wright has been around for how long now, and it's not clicking. You know, and for whatever reason, ever since that Patriots game, ever since he got benched after that Patriots game, his, you know, or sorry, not benched, but they reined him in as a rookie. His confidence has been shot, and he's never been the same. So, you know, there's certain players I would be like, oof, that worries me. Because we've seen them for a few years now. Like Jason Marshall Jr. Okay. This is now a second year, right? I don't think he was that good this week at practice, especially in the joint practice. But they got high expectations for him. That worries me. He's a depth guy right now. He ain't a starter, I don't think, at least. I could be wrong. I mean, I know they're going to start. I'm talking about the quality of player he is. You know? So I would be, you know, but I wouldn't be freaking out about anything. Jalen Wright's the only one I'd be seriously concerned about, to be honest with you right now. Bonner, I don't think makes, yeah, Bonner's struggling, man. Bonner's struggling for sure. Yeah, Russell, I think we win 3 to 5 games. That's safe. But there ain't no way we get entering or even flirting with double digits. I would be shocked. Because at some point in some area, we're going to have to rely on our depth. And it's not going to go over well. When we have to rely on that depth, we're going to get killed. That's the reality. And look at what's going on. Like, okay, you want more things that I'd be worried about right now, given this preseason? Look at the injuries. I mean, you had Trey Moore get injured tonight, but like, look at what's stacking up. Juju's always hurt. Where's Juju again? He's hurt. Right? Sealer and Grant being hurt. Don't like that. But again, a guy like Juju, Patterns. I would be more like, the only things I'd be freaking out is if guys have been here for a few years and we're seeing patterns continue from the old regime to the new regime. So example, Juju Brent always being hurt, Jalen Wright seems likes his confidence is shot. Those are what I would be worrying about in the preseason with these results. So yeah, don't worry about strength of schedule. You look at the quality of the roster. This is not a good roster. There's a reason why Jeff Hafley and John Eric Sullivan, if you listen to them talk, keep preparing us for a low season and not to be disappointed or expect anything more. Like, you could see it. No, you know who you want to trade for? I'll tell you who you trade for. Jack Strand. Listen, if he doesn't make the team and they cut him, pick him up. Jack Strand was my QB 13 on my big board. And, I loved him. If you go back and watch that big board, I think he's like one of the sleepers in this class for sure. And I don't know if you saw him in Atlanta today, but he looked good. He looked good. He came from a small school. I think I don't need to be at practice, bro. Do you know I get reports privately sent to me? All I got to do is ask people who are there and who have been there. Do you know how much film that I've been sent from practice? I've had over an hour of practice film, and I've played over 50 minutes of it here on this channel alone of just our ones. So, and then I've been there myself. On top of that, all the stuff that's made public. It's the internet. It's not 1997. Yeah, this team ain't gonna win. This team's like at best, this team's a 4-6 team. All right, we got third quarter starting here. No, not mostly guessing. That's called being informed. And have you ever watched any of these players? I broke down our whole rookie draft class. I did film studies on every single rookie in this class. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Why do you think Vegas has a 4.5 wins? Why do you think Vegas has a 4.5 wins? Why do you think we look so bad with the depth right now? It's not guessing. It's called common sense with some football knowledge. You should try it. All right, and 14 minutes left in to start this third quarter off. 3rd and 3 right now for the Giants. After that 9-yard gain. So Brandon Allen is in right now. In the gun, 3-by-1 set, running back to his right, takes off, moves up downfield. Brandon Allen, great, wow, makes a catch along the sideline with Dante Trader in coverage. Brother, what do you mean? What do you mean, bruh? I actually have I'm backed up on my ripping videos for Patreons on Phinside breaks. I got like a 2 resurgence football breaks I need to post. I got Chrome breaks I need to post. We got it. All right. Run to the right tackle, 2 yards for Eric Gray. McGraw was in on the stop. That's going to now bring up 2nd and 8 from the Miami 49. Dude, yeah, exactly. This is a turnover year. That's why Jeff Hafley keeps warning us that it's not going to be a good year. But people want to find their hopium anyway. Go find it. 1-by-1 set. Handoff. Faked. And then it's sack all day. And that sack is going to end up being split by Coleman and Rice. Let's go. Coleman Lyles gets a sack. Look at this guy. Seth Coleman Lyles with a sack. Love to see it. So that's going to have 3rd and 17 from the Giants 42. Oh. Screen left side. It was almost batted down the line of scrimmage, but it's going to be 11-yard gain for Gibson. It's still going to be short, so it'll bring up 4th and 6 on the Miami 47. Nah, Vegas knows what they're talking about. I don't even care about the wins. Listen, this team either get a top 5 pick or make the playoffs. Ain't no in between, and they making the playoffs. All right. Punt is fair caught by Tutu Atwell back at the 11-yard line. There's a 36-yard punt by Stout. Yeah, I mean, I don't want we don't like, listen, I want them to be competitive, but I don't want them to come out here and win like 7 games and we end up with like the 12th pick. You know, like I'm good on that. The sack was split by Rice and Lyles Coleman. There's no point in getting that low pick. Like, why would we want all that? You know? Why would we want all that? I don't want no in between. Either suck or go get it done. That's where I'm at. Give me 3 to 4 wins with flashes and just be competitive in all your losses. That's where I'm at. Just be competitive in all your losses. You know? I hope Malik shows enough where we don't need to draft a quarterback. I think they don't have a plan on drafting a quarterback anyways. I mean, they'll do their research and their due diligence, but I think they'd rather draft an edge rusher, a tackle, or Jeremiah Smith if he's available. And continuing to fill out the roster. I mean, listen, they've been pretty transparent with us up until this point. And what did they say? They said they were going to give Malik 2 off seasons. They were going to give him 2 drafts and 2 free agent cycles. So to this point, you got to take them at their word. They haven't given us a reason not to. All right. And there is a flag as soon as Cam Miller steps back, and that's because it's a false start on Charlie Heck. All right, single back. Cam Miller under center, 1st and 15. He's got to take off and avoids a sack in the end zone. Throws the ball on the move and it's out of bounds. He threw it away. He threw it away. He wanted nothing to do with that. All right, Cam Miller. He is in the pistol. 2-by-1 set. Handoff left side. Bounced outside by Carlos Washington. And that's a decent run. And again, it's coming back. Jeez Louise. Another holding penalty. Tolbert called with the hold. Wow. Okay. Oh. Yeah, that's why I got hold. Tolbert got called because when the defender tried to disengage, he didn't let him go. Washington Jr. gets tackled. I stopped at the line of scrimmage. Wow. Screen thrown to the left at the goal line to Carlos Washington Jr. And he is tackled there. Tutu Atwell with an awful block attempt, and he looked like he might be banged up. It's not a safety. Are you kidding me? Ouch. They aren't even like, ugh, ugly. Wow. All right, punter, Pinion back at the back of the end zone. He punts it, and he punts it back to about the 50. And here comes a good return at the left. He's got space. Wow, inside the 20, down to about the 16. Jeez. But it's coming back on a hold. All right, I got the room open. Join us live immediately following the game for the post-game show. Link is in the chat right now. Make sure you go over there, smash that like button, get it ramped, hype it up a little bit. Let's go. Ugly, man. Everybody was holding on that punt. Everybody and their mother. I think we're all at a point where we just want them to get out of here with no injuries. Development seems to be out the window today, that's for sure. Development seems to be out the window. Guys, smash that like button. Let's get these likes up, man. Let's get these likes up, y'all here. We passed 216. Can we get to 250? Can we get to 250? That's the real question. It's Friday night, and we're feeling all right. Could be feeling better if our team showed up, at least the depth of it. But they didn't get off. They decided not to get off the bus. And I think, as hard as it was to watch the ones being ran by Cam Miller, it's probably going to get worse now. It's probably going to get worse. The pain is about to get worse. It's scrub season right now in Miami, and our scrubs are getting scrubbed. All right, Brandon Allen is under center. Handoff, left side, and it is stuffed up. Defense is all up in that. They don't let it go anywhere. I love seeing that. 1 yard run for Gray. Cam Riley in on the stop. So after the 1 yard gain, it is 2nd and 9 right now. Out of the gun, Allen. He looks, he steps up. Before he gets hit, he gets it out underneath. And Gray gets space and converts it. On a 2nd and 9, he gets 10. Willie Gay and Miles battle in to stop it. And Willie Gay is down. He's going to get up now. But man, Cam Rice had a pressure on that. All right, here we go. For the Miami 36, Allen under gun. Single back, fakes a handoff. He looks. He's going to take Gray again out of the backfield underneath. And that is going to be a 5 yard gain. And that is going to be a 2nd and 5 now with about 7 minutes left in the third. Dolphins not looking good right now. It's not good in Miami. 6:50 left. Allen under center. Motion. Handoff to Gray. And that is a decent gain of 7. Wow. All right, Llewellyn is in. Let's see this. What do you got here, Llewellyn? What you got here, kid? All right, fake the handoff. Back to his left side is Allen on the move, and he's got a completion to Fedoni again. Nice play by Allen. Man, they're 2nd and 3rd. Oh, my God. 8 yards down to the Miami 16. Oh, Giants backup making me jealous right now. Handoff, and they're going to get the first down. It was 2nd and 2. They needed it. They got it. And that is once again Gray. All right, let's go. Come on, defense. Let's get something here. Under center, Allen, single back, handoff, kicked outside. Oh. AJ Green got in the backfield and tried for the shoelace tackle and couldn't bring Gray down. And then he ended up turning it into a 4-yard gain when it should have been a stop. So 2nd and 6 on the Miami 9. Not good. Oof. All right, here we go. In the gun, 2x2 set. It's a stack and to the right and a split to the left. Allen gets it off. Gonna take and overthrows Gray, who is out in the running a flat route to the right side. Overthrows him. So incomplete. I mean, you can't base how many games are going to win off the preseason, but I do agree. As like the roster, if they run into depth, they're screwed. Best case scenario, they're a 4-6 win team. Worst case scenario, they're 2-4 win. I don't think they're worse than the Browns and the Cardinals, if that helps. 3x2 set, empty backfield for Allen in the gun. Takes a snap, looks. End zone. He had his man open and he missed it. He had Fedoni, the tight end, open in the back of the end zone, and Allen just missed the throw. All right, here is the field goal attempt. Good. The pain. The pain. The pain right now, huh? So this is what you're looking at in the box score department right now. Jameis Winston finished the game in the first half 15 of 21 for 150 yards. Brandon Allen so far is 7-9. Brandon Allen's already having a better game than Cam Miller, and Cam Miller had a whole half. That's hilarious. Look at Eric Gray, already became their second leading receiver right now. Ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. How many guys are going to get cut? Cam Miller and Gronkowski are fighting for who goes to the practice squad. Jalen Wright ain't trending in the right direction. Tutu Atwell probably going to get cut. I mean, I'm seeing a bunch of names of guys who are going to get cut. Keith Cooper, he ain't going to make the team. Seth Lyles, like all these names are going to get cut. Anyways, as a team, it's ugly. Look at the Dolphins still only have one rushing first down, and we only have 3 total. And that one rushing first down was a scramble by Cam Miller. getting outgained 307-87. Listen, this should be no surprise. The depth is not good. The depth is not good. So this shouldn't surprise anyone. Now, if this was happening and it was our ones out there, okay, then panic. But it's some of these guys aren't even going to be on the team. So I wouldn't overreact to this, people. But it ain't good. The depth is not good. And there's nothing to overreact to. We all knew the depth wasn't good. We're gonna be scrambling on that waiver wire. Let's go 0-3 in the preseason. I don't care. Preseason, they ain't never won anyone a Super Bowl. It's a 2-4 win team, worst case scenario, and it's a 4-6 win team, best case scenario. All right. Waiver wire kings. Yep. Yeah. Well, I linked with Omar. So I went out to dinner with Cam Wolf and Marcel Louis Jacques on the day off on Wednesday. And I messaged Omar. Me and Omar exchanged some texts on Wednesday. And then after practice on Thursday, we linked up, shook hands, talked for a little bit. It's all good. All right, out of the gun, Gronkowski. He steps back, he looks, and overthrows DJ Herman by a quarter mile on the underneath route. That was terrible. Remember when people were trying to tell me Gronkowski's the winningest, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Remember when everyone told he's the winningest college quarterback? I told all y'all Gronkowski was trash. No one should be surprised. Not an NFL quarterback, man. Maybe practice squad. Gronkowski steps back, looks, takes the underneath, and that's shut down. Yeah, I agree, Dennis. No lies detected. Yeah, I agree, bro. I never really took it personally. Like, people see us going back and forth and automatically thing. The only thing I really took personally was when he questioned my pockets, because I know his situation, I know my situation. What are we talking about here? Fumbled snap by Gronkowski, but that was like last year, and I get over it pretty quickly, you know? I don't really hold grudges and stuff. I may think people are idiots, and I'll tell you I think he's an idiot. That doesn't mean I hold his. I'm not saying Omar's an idiot. I'm saying if you hear me say someone's an idiot for a couple of years, because I don't think I've ever called him an idiot on this channel. But I'm just the type where even if you hear me call someone an idiot, doesn't mean I'm holding a grudge. It's just I recognize they're an idiot. That was my point of that. But yeah, me and Omar were good. We're good. Like I said, I never took any of that personally. Really, it is what it is. Gibson on the punt return, and he's brought down at the about 24. And there is a Dolphin player that looked like he was limping coming off there. Was that? It looked like it was Will, but I don't know. It looked like Will Kazmarek came off limping. Yeah. It was always going to work out. Now, I'll tell you straight up, there's other guys I got no intent of, I could care less, you know, like there's other guys that were offended by my video last year that I got no interest, you know, like JoeyShotz sat in front of me the joint practice, I had no interest whatsoever. None. I'm good. You know? So, and there's other guys that fit under that too. I got no interest. I'm good. I got my people, you know? I got my people. I got Marcel, Cam, David, you know, Alf, Travis. You know, I got the people that I go out of my way at camp to link up with and connect with and talk with. And, you know, I'm good. So. Yeah, Robert Thompson. Oh, all I know, Robert Thompson, is every time I go to training camp, every week I go to training camp, there's certain people who are there every week until your boy boots hit the ground and then they're nowhere to be seen. So that's a real thing. That's like what, 4 years going on now almost? I think 4 years. But me and Omar are good. Like, yeah, I got no problem. I'll reach out to Omar and when I go to camp. I used to reach out to Omar. Last season was the only season me and Omar didn't really catch up at camp. Every other year I've caught up in Omar, so he's back in the circle. Right? So, yeah, you got to come down, George. Come meet me. This time around, our joint practice was awesome. I met like 40 of you. I met a ton of you this time around. We had like a crew of 10 of us sitting in a section. And then after, when I was sitting down there talking to everyone, went over, saw Big E and everyone, a bunch of you came down, man. Ziggy, Juanita came down. A bunch of you came down. Mike came down. Like so many of you came down taking pictures. Joe Gonzalez and his son came down. There's a whole bunch of you came down. I met like 40 of you this time around. So Mini, oh yeah, PL. Only person I'll never accept is that buffoon. TD's done so much damage with his know nothing takes in this Dolphins community. Single back motion off the left side and thrown into the dirt. I mean, even with him, he can hold whatever grudge he wants. I don't care. I get over it, you know? There's going to be, hey, in every forms of life, there's going to be people who've got takes, opinions, whatever we don't agree with. It is what it is. All right, in the gun. 2x1 set stack on the left. And then it is just a screen out of the backfield. It's going to be about a gain of 1 before he's pushed out of bounds. 2 minutes left in the third. And I'll say this, man. Hey, everyone has their own avenue. Everyone has their own path. Everyone has and just like everyone has their own taste and flavor. Someone who's not for me or UPL may be for someone else. Me and UPL may not be for some of these people. It's just how the world works. Never going to please everyone, you know? It is what it is. And I will never, you've never heard me up here and tell anyone to not support anyone. You know, I've had my problems with plenty of people, and it's always these people start it, and then reason comes out, ends it, and then everyone wants to say I'm the asshole because I didn't roll over and take it. You know, the alpha energy walked in and overtook the beta energy, and they want to call me the asshole. I get it. Hey, that's fine. But I've had plenty of issues with people. It's usually them. 99.9% is them starting it. But even those, I move on. I deal with it. I end it, and I move on with my life. Life's too short to hold grudges in anything, in relationships, in friendships, in work, whatever the case may be is. Especially as you know, PLs, we have kids and grow older. We don't want to pass those attitudes off. 1x2 set, but hey, if someone doesn't meet your flavor or taste requirements, you have all the power to not enjoy them and not watch them. Pass interference, definitely coming on that. Like, I'll tell you, like, right now, there's just, a lot of content creators I don't watch. And the reason why I don't watch, it's not a grudge, it's not a slight. I'm at a stage in my life where I'm so busy with my family, with my own stuff. If I'm not going to watch and learn something and, be some form of education, and if I'm not going to learn something, then it's not worth my time. And I've said this for a few years now. If I'm watching something, especially dolphin content, I've got to learn something. If I'm not going to learn anything, it's not worth my time. That's my approach, just because time is money, and I don't have a ton of it to sit around watching Dolphins content when I already taken so much Miami Dolphins football and create my own content, such a focus on my own content. If I ain't going to learn anything, it ain't worth it for me. That's why you always see a learning aspect behind my content too, like the film studies, et cetera, because I'm trying to, I've always been right. When there was only 3 main channels, Dougly, TD, and, Phinside The NFL, we were the first learning hub. All right, throw. Ooh, Lewis Moore with the tackle, but the completion is made by Hodgins. Jeez. Not really. I mean, if we want to get specific into this stuff, if you want to get specific into who was right and wrong, one person out here said Josh Rosen was the truth, said Bridgewater would take Tua's job, right? All these people were supposed to take Tua's job. None of them ever did. Same person also said Tua would never make the Pro Bowl. Tua would never lead the league in passing. I mean, it took 6 years for Tua to leave, and in those 6 years, there were a lot of wrong takes about who the quarterback would be, about our starting quarterback being beat out, and whether our starting quarterback would ever be a Pro Bowler or lead the league in passing. There was a sect saying he would never do those things, and they ended up being wildly wrong. So, they also said he would never get a big extension or a second contract. I mean, if we want to sit here and actually start counting victories here, and that's just on the quarterback. That's just on the quarterback. A lot of these platforms just focused on the quarterback because they don't know enough about the other positions to come out here and make informed takes. And then when you go watch their draft takes, my, what a surprise. They're echoing the same stuff I'm echoing. Shock. Color me shocked. So, I mean, we really want to get into wins and losses and who's right and wrong here. You really want to go down that path? That's not a path you want to go down. Because I also remember certain content creators who were anti-Tua after the 70-point game coming out and apologizing to the whole fan base and calling Tua Tagovailoa a franchise quarterback. So even those people called Tua a franchise quarterback at one point. So do we really want to get into who was right and wrong here? Because when you start adding context to it, it's a lot more of a gray area than black and white here, okay? Let's be real. So third quarter is going to run out. And now we're going to get into the fourth. All right, so we're going to get into the fourth quarter here. And I mean, do we want to get into how right I was about when Tua started to fall off? In 2024, I was telling all y'all, we need to draft Jackson Dart. It's over. I was telling y'all this in 2024 because I knew what was going on behind the scenes. Now my patrons and channel members know exactly what I know in terms of what was going on behind the scenes between Tua and his dad, Tua performed, McDaniel and the team, Tyreek quitting, McDaniel lying to the team about Tyreek quitting on the team, all this kind of stuff. So I knew in 2024 where we were headed. And to sit here and blame one person, it was a group cause. It was a collective cause of people as to why this thing fell apart. And it wasn't even one person that brought the ship down. Greer played a part. McDaniel played a part. Tyreek played a part. Tua played a part. You know, it wasn't one person. So. But again, same people, you can't do a victory lap after you've been on record calling Tua a franchise quarterback in 2024 after the Denver game. You can't do a victory lap when you told all of us fans when we drafted him he would never be a Pro Bowler, he would never lead the league in passing, and he did that. You can't. It's kind of hard to victory lap when you're, you know, just saying. You're making my point. You inform and teach others, misinform and divide the Dolphins community. I don't. Okay. So I'll do this. I'll say this. I don't think anyone's intent is to divide. At least that's how I perceive it. I mean, my intent was never to divide. I don't think people's intents are to divide. I think it became a personal and ego-driven thing for some people. I think the problem was a lot of people didn't like being viewed as, oh my God, I'm not the smartest person in the room. And yeah, man, if all you're ever going to do is talk about the quarterback and you're never going to give evaluations and tape breakdowns and, you know, player evaluations on other positions and, you know, you're not going to be in depth, then no one's going to view you as the smartest person in the room. You know, when you're going up against a guy like, I'll give you an example, Kyle Krabs. You think any content creator on any platform, Instagram, Twitter, if you just talk about the QB and you've been talking about it since 2018, and we can go back and find tons of receipts of you being wrong on that, and that's all you talk about as a quarterback, put that up against a content creator like Locked On Travis or Locked On Kyle, there's just no contest. You know, I don't know why people are afraid of being perceived as not the smartest person in the room when it's already pretty much known throughout the fan base. People are like uphill battle for ego. It's crazy. All right, toss right side. Didn't really go anywhere. That was actually a really good play. Oof. Love the stop there. Great stuff. Great stop. So after the stop by Riley, who's coming on a little bit here. Oh, he gets another pressure around. And then the completion is there to Fedone for 14 yards. Dante Trader and Kyle Lewis in on the stop. All right, offset I formation. Allen under center, motion to the right, handoff up the middle on 3rd and 1. They convert with about 12:50 and ticking away. I would say it starts at him 110%. It all starts with Greer. I don't think he gets enough, not even Tyreek, but no one gives him enough for the Bradley Chubb trade. You gave up money, you paid the guy, and you gave up all those picks, and that's what we got out of him. And the thing people are going to remember for him is throwing his helmet in the Tennessee Titans loss that started our downfall. Handoff up the middle. It's not going to go very far. Right back, maybe a yard past the line of scrimmage. It all starts with him. Like, if you want my opinion, Greer and McDaniel shoulder most of the blame. And then if you want to go players, Tyreek actually quit on the team. But, I mean, Tyreek And Tua, in terms of the players, they would shoulder the majority of the blame with how it ended. Tua couldn't stay healthy. 1-by-2 set, single back, handoff, that shut down. Tua couldn't stay healthy, stunted his development. And then, like I said, the fallout that I knew that was happening, this is why I knew it was going down in 2024. When him and his dad fell out, and then he blew up the Tua Foundation, and then he went over and, basically separated from his father, separated from his family, separated from Perform, basically separated from all the people who helped him get there. I knew what was about to happen. Mix that in with everything that was going on with Tyreek and everything that was going on with McDaniel. Like, I've heard some crazy stories about McDaniel, man. Like, that I don't want to go public and talk about. Like, I've heard some crazy stuff happening at country clubs and stuff where the team had to come get him and pick him up. So I've heard some crazy stuff about McDaniel, man. Like, from last year. I've heard some wild stuff that I'm not going to put out there because it's not my place. But I heard some crazy stuff about this guy. You look at how he handled the Bevel situation. Like, it was crazy. He brought in Slowick to threaten Bevel. Because Ross and Greer wanted Bevel sticking around because they're what got that high level play out of Tua. It was crazy. It was just like, you got the coach battling the quarterback coach. You got your star wide receiver and your quarterback at butting heads with how 24 ended and they never got over it. Like, you got crazy stuff going on. Why do you think Calais Campbell said, okay, enough of this, I'm out? So, yeah, I heard wild stuff, man. Not good in Miami over the last, 2023 was our window. We had 2 chances under McDaniel, and we dropped the ball on both. The first chance was 2022 when Tua got hurt. If Tua plays instead of Skylar Thompson in that playoff game, we get the playoff monkey off our back. We get the Bills monkey off our back. We win that playoff game, but he was hurt. Okay? 2023, the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. And what did that come down to? Why did the wheels fall off in 2023? It actually wasn't Tua. It wasn't McDaniel so much. It was a little McDaniel, but it was our offensive line injuries. I mean, you could sit here and, like, let's be real. If you want to, you could sit here and say Greer, McDaniel, and injuries are the main 3 causes for our downfall. You could literally sit here and say that, and anyone who watched all football go, yeah. Right? Because, again, if Tua never gets injured, we beat the Bills in 2022 in that playoff game without Skylar Thompson at starting quarterback. Now we got Tua. We win that game. Injuries. The offensive line never gets decimated in 2023. Oh, my God. And here's the other thing. In 2023, if we would have won that game in 2022, if Tua didn't get hurt, 2023 we would have already learned how to win. So here comes December in 2023, and we wouldn't have collapsed like that, and we wouldn't have been decimated. Man, we had our chance, and we had 2 years to get it done. We had 2 different opportunities. The cards fell 2 different ways, but injuries were still the key factor as why we couldn't get over the hump in either of those years. Not to mention we're decimated, and we got to go to Kansas City against the only guy who could beat Mahomes at that time was who? Burrow or Tom Brady. Burrow beat him once. Tom Brady beat him, a few times. The only guy who could beat him was those guys. And since then, they had won again. And now we got to go play the coldest game, decimated by injury, against the most seasoned Super Bowl and playoff team in the NFL at the current time. Oh. This is ugly, man. See, and it depends on what your definition of a big game is. I don't think you won enough big games at all, for sure. 110%. What did I talk about this? The problem with this guy, the problem with him is in big moments, you need quarterbacks to come up 40 to 60% of the time. And this guy's at like a 20% rate. Now, to say he didn't win a big game is a lie. I mean, you know, he led that game-winning field goal against Dallas for us to get the playoff win. Sorry, to enter the playoffs, to get the playoff berth, right? And I'll tell you this much. I was here. Y'all treated that Chargers Dolphins opening day game in 2023 like a big game. Let's not revise history. That was one of the biggest opening games in recent Dolphins memory I can think of. When we won, there was 2,000 people in my live chat for the post game. So I remember the hype around that game. And Tua was electric that game with Tyreek. But I agree with you. In the sense of, okay, you have 10 big games, you're going to win 2 or 3 of them. That ain't good enough. I 110% agree. I need you to win 5 or 6 of those. Minimum. So I agree. In that sense, he wasn't consistent enough, and he just wasn't enough in big moments in big games. 110%. And then he'd give you those teases like he did against the Chargers. Like he did against the Ravens in that comeback. He gives you those, and you're like, oh my God. Remember, we hadn't won in Baltimore in how long when we went and had that comeback against Baltimore? It had been forever. It had been like 20 years since we won in Baltimore. So, yeah, I get it, man. Now there's 9 minutes left in the fourth. 26-23. The depth is no good. Gronkowski. Yeah, this game is... I'm having more fun talking to y'all in the chat than watching this game. 2x1 set, handoff. Gronkowski with the keeper. That was the worst. For all you watching the game, the way he went down there, it was like, run alongside, and he fell over the guy. Oh my God, that was the worst. Gronkowski, he just had no energy at the end of that run. That's funny. All right, nice scramble though. 8:58 left in the fourth. 2nd and 1. Ball from the Miami 33. All right, split, set, gun look, handoff, and that's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. But everyone, like, back to my point earlier, though, but everyone's been wrong. You know, the wrongest thing I've ever been about was not Tua. If you actually look at it, my evaluation ended up being right. I mean, there was a time where he's a top 12 player. It ended up being right. I'm not here. I'm not a doctor. All right. I'm not a doctor. So I'm sorry. Not a doctor. So I'm not here to predict injuries for you. But I mean, he reached the Pro Bowl. He led the league in passing. I formation. Fakes the handoff. I'm not here to control his personal relationships like how he did with performance stuff. Gronkowski on the run throws it like 30 yards downfield out of bounds. So I'm not here to, you know, predict injuries. That's not part. I'm talking about the football player. He led the league in passing. Our first Pro Bowl quarterback in 30 years. He's the best quarterback we had. I mean, me and Marcel, we were out to dinner this week with Cam and my boy Sean and everything. And, you know, Marcel said it to me, and I'll say it to all of you. Dolphin fans aren't going to like to hear it, but the best quarterback we had since Marino was Tua. The problem was it was only for a 2 period of time, and then that 7-game stretch in 2024. Remember when he came back after he got hurt? We went 4-3, but he threw for like 1,604. What did he do? Was it like 1,600 or 1,400 yards in those 7 games? He threw for like 12 touchdowns and like 300. I got it right here what the stats were. But Tua was like lights out in that 2024 stretch. And then, you know, But we went 4-3 because his team. Oh yeah, he went. So Tua Tagovailoa in those 6 games in injury and from coming back from injury in 2024. Remember, we went 3-3. He had 1,642 yards, 13 touchdowns, 1 interception, 77% completion percentage, a 116.3 passer rating. This is in 2024. Remember, you remember when we lost to the Bills? Tua's EPA per dropback was what, 0.62 versus the Bills, and that was the 9th highest because it was in week 9. That was the 9th highest single game EPA per dropback for any quarterback in 2024 up until that time, and Tua was the only quarterback that lost. And the reason why he lost was because of our defense. The Dolphins and special teams. The special teams EPA in that game was like minus 7.79. That was the 7th worst single game performance against Buffalo since 2017. It's just awful. Awful. And yeah, the defense, man, the defense was the 22nd worst EPA per play showing by a defense against a Sean McDermott coach team. So the defense let us down. You know, even when we did get high-level play out of him in 2024 too, and he flashed like the 2023 guy, we couldn't string together wins. Remember? That was when, I forget who it was, but someone missed the tackle on Josh Allen, let him get free, and he threw the touchdown pass against us, and he won. Then, I forget who it was, but they blew the tackle on Kyler Murray with like under 2 minutes left, and they let Kyler Murray convert the first down when we would have got the ball back and giving our offense time to go down and score. Defense didn't stop him. Like, what do you do? And then it was over, and then Tua got hurt at the end of the year because the offensive line, right? He got that hip pointer in the 49ers game because the offensive line was hurt again, and he got lit up, got the hip pointer, and was out. And then 2025 happened, and by 2025, he had fired Perform. He wasn't training with them, and he had fired his dad, basically, and wasn't with him. He'd got rid of everyone around him, wasn't taking his offseason training as seriously, and we got 2025. All right, under center. Handoff. And again, another run by Gray. All right, for the Giants right now, Jake Hayner's in at quarterback. Hayner in the gun. 2x1 set. Motion. Handoff up the middle. But yeah, that conversation earlier about being right and wrong, like, I was the only one that called out Devon Achane like a year before we drafted him. You know, I can give plenty of examples of players like that. Again, my evaluation was dead on about Javon Holland until he left his knees in MetLife Stadium, and has never been the same since that Black Friday game. Again, I'm not a doctor. I can't predict injuries are going to happen on Black Friday 3 or 4 years after a guy gets drafted. But up until that point, we all loved Javon Holland. Then the injury happened at MetLife, and what happened? We're not going to give an extension after that injury. I guess we learned from our you know, how we had moved. Chris Johnson, I mean, I told all y'all, match coverage to Vaughn, perfect fit for our scheme. Look at who's they used the Waddle pick for. You know, so a lot of people, but then on the flip side, wrongest I've ever been in the draft about a player potentially. Big stop behind the line of scrimmage right there for the Dolphins. I love that. Was that Ronnie or Lonnie? Lonnie Johnson with a 1-yard stop on Eric Gray. I was totally off about Jamar Chase. I didn't think Jamar Chase would be better than Justin Jefferson, and here we are. You know, everyone's going to be right and wrong. That's life. You know, but I don't run from it. Look at when we drafted Austin Jackson, I hated the pick. When he started off good for us in that rookie season, I came out here and apologized to all of y'all. I said I was wrong. Austin's better than what I thought he'd be. Now, 4 years later, sorry, 6 years later, I apologize. 4 years, geez, where am I been? 6 years later, I was right about Austin Jackson the whole time. Wanted nothing to do with him. One of the few players that scared me off from injury, and he's more injury prone than Tua. You know? But I came out here, if y'all are an OG watching me from 2020, I came out here because I hated the pick. My evaluation on him was not good, and I apologize to all y'all for potentially being wrong on that. 6 years later, I'm right. But you don't see me taking victory laps. I'm just bringing it up. People are right, people are wrong. That's life, man. All right. And 3rd and 8. And that is a first down on the completion by even Jake Haener looks better than what we have in Miami. Well, even Jake Haener making me jealous. All right, I formation handoff, kicked out to the left, shut down. Well, Jawbo doesn't look good. I agree. Chris Lemons, 110%. He's missed a few. He's whiffed a few. Yup. Eric nailed it. Agreed. What have I told all y'all? I told all y'all. Eric, now you know why I'm keeping the same energy I kept with Tua in his first few years with Flores. Are we going to get a fair chance to evaluate Malik? It's a real question, bro. It's a real question. Yeah. Don't get me started, Eric. At least the Cleveland Browns and the Arizona Cardinals will be worse than that. I'm pretty sure of that. All right. Haener on the move. He just takes the check down. Man, I'd go get Jake Haener. I like Jake Haener better than our options. Plus, I got a few rookie cards. Lewis Moore in on the tackle there. Yo, Jackson Woodard is a player. He got my game ball. I'm going to tell you this right now. That man's getting my game ball. This is painful, though. Holy jeez. Two-minute warning in the 4th. And then we're going to do the post-game show right after this. Make sure you tune in for that. We'll actually lock in for that. Smash that like button. Yeah, Jake Haener would be a much better. I actually have a couple of his rookie autos, too. I'll take it. I'll go get Spencer Rattler at this point. Give me something to want to watch. Jeez. This is a terrible situation in Miami when it comes to the quarterback situation. So right now, here is what the box score looks like. I mean, even Haener looks better than what we got going on. Let's not lie to ourselves. Jameis Winston, 15 of 21. Brandon Allen, 13 of 18. Jake Haener, 3 of 3, 15 yards. Putting us to shame over here. On the flip side, Mark Gronowski, 2 for 5. Mark Gronowski has more completions this week than Quinn Ewers had last week. Except he only has 1 yard on 2 completions. Look at this. All their backups are better than the Dolphins' backups. It's not even close. It's not even close. But yeah, Jackson Woodard. Look at Cam Riley. Oh, you might have to get it. Cam Riley might have to. Oh, him and Cam Riley really fighting for that. Cam Riley, Jackson Woodard fighting for my game ball for today. Man. They're really fighting for that game ball, huh? Look at this is where it's going to get even uglier. Don't worry. 1 rushing first down. Does it get any uglier than that? Does it get any uglier than that? Ouch. And that was like back in the second quarter from Cam Miller. Dolphins getting outgained 393 to 102. So here's a problem with the quarterback play too. You're not getting a proper evaluation of these receivers. You know, we're not giving our receivers a fighting chance now. Getting out past 257 to 52. Ugly. Time possession 39 minutes to 19. Jeez. Ouch. Ouch. And Taj Washington fumbles the... Are you kidding me, man? Taj Washington fumbles it on the punt. Unbelievable. Now the Giants have the ball back deep in Miami territory. Absolute nightmare scenario. Nightmare scenario. Absolutely disgusting. Just knee it out, Harbaugh. No one wants to watch this trash. Taj just got cut. Nice knowing you, Taj, and they're going to knee it out. All right, so this is going to be the final right here. Ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. And we will be live in just a few minutes over for the post-game show. So make sure you keep it locked in. Join us live for the post-game show right after this. We're going to break it down. Wasn't pretty, that's for sure. Thank God they got into victory formation. Make sure you come over for the post-game show. And we're going to talk about it all and break it down. There's about 45 seconds left. They're going to take one more knee. That'll end it. And then we've got one more preseason game against Tua Tagovailoa and the Falcons. And there it is. A final knee. And there you go. Dolphins, they lose a tough one, 26-3. Not a lot of positives to take away, but we'll find some. Make sure you catch us for the post-game show. I'll catch each and every one of you right over there in just a few minutes. Fins up. We'll see you then.